It was a warm, dusky evening when I first picked up the Bible, my grandmother's old leather-bound copy, edges worn from years of handling. I was 16, and I was searching for answers, clarity amidst the turmoil that life seemed to constantly throw my way. I thought surely within these ancient texts lay the wisdom I sought. But the more I delved into its pages, the more bewildered I became. Stories that seemed straightforward turned convoluted upon closer inspection. Passages that were supposed to comfort left me more perplexed. I read and reread, but understanding eluded me. The words at times felt like an enigma wrapped in parables and metaphors I couldn't quite grasp. In my frustration, I sought help. I acquired commentaries, hoping that the insights of learned scholars would illuminate the dark corners of my comprehension. Concordances and Bible dictionaries became my constant companions. I was in my 30s working at the Cook County Hospital in Chicago when I joined a local Bible study group, sitting among individuals whose faith radiated from them in a way I envied. Yet despite their guidance and my earnest efforts, the confusion only deepened. Over the years, I have listened to many preachers from the pulpit and carefully examined their interpretations and quotes from the Bible. Despite their confident delivery, their narratives often seemed incoherent and misguided, leading me to conclude that they were, quite frankly, talking nonsense. In other words, plain old bullshit. Some preachers attempted to engage their congregations with humor, telling a few jokes to elicit laughter and lighten the mood. While this approach entertained the listeners, I couldn't help but think that their talents would be more appreciated in a stand-up comedy club. Their sermons, filled with superficial interpretations and comedic interludes, fell short of providing the profound spiritual insights I was seeking. This experience only deepened my frustration and reinforced the belief that a true understanding of the Bible required a more refined and enlightened approach. The simplicity and humor used by these preachers were inadequate for unraveling the complex and multifaceted teachings within the Scriptures. Instead, a thorough comprehension of dualism, non-dualism, and pure non-dualism was necessary to unlock the Bible's profound wisdom and spiritual guidance. There came a point where I could no longer bear it. One evening, after another futile attempt to decipher a particularly confounding passage, I slammed the book shut and decided enough was enough. If the Bible wouldn't reveal its secrets to me, then perhaps the answers lay elsewhere. I turned to science, immersing myself in the logical, empirical world of hypotheses, theories, and experiments. Took a deep dive into cosmology and quantum physics. The clarity and precision of scientific inquiry provided a stark contrast to the ambiguity I had faced before. But while I appreciated the structure, theories, and discoveries, something was still missing, a sense of deeper meaning, a connection to the essence of existence. This yearning led me to philosophy. I wandered through the corridors of Greek thought, marveling at the works of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Their ideas on ethics, metaphysics, and the nature of reality fascinated me. Yet even as I explored these profound concepts, my mind longed for something more, something beyond the realm of reason. My journey then took me to the mystic sands and mountains of Egypt and Greece, where philosophy, mythology, and spirituality intertwined in ways that intrigued and mystified me. I studied the gods and goddesses, the rituals and symbols that had once been integral to an ancient civilization's understanding of the world and the universe, meditated and contemplated, deeply sitting by the great pyramids of Giza, Parthenon, and the Temple of Apollo in Delphi, Greece. As I stood on the Parnassus mountain overlooking the Temple of Apollo, a dialogue began to unfold within me. If Socrates, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Rumi, Kabir, Buddha, Guru Nanak, Shankara, and the oracle at Delphi all knew the truth, then why am I unable to grasp it as well? What is it that holds me back? Are they inherently superior to me in some way? If they are indeed superior, how are they superior to me? Why can't I know what they knew? A few years later, I found myself standing on the Laxmanjula Bridge, gazing upon the foothills of the Himalayas, asking the same questions. This time I directed my plea to the ancient yogis who seemed to inhabit the very air and stones around me. Whatever truth you have discovered, could you share that knowledge with me? In my quest for answers, I have journeyed to many sacred places, hoping to bridge the gap between my understanding and the truth they knew. I prayed on Mount Nebo, where Moses spent his last days, seeking divine insight. I offered my prayers in the ancient temple of Petra in Jordan, where history and spirituality intertwine. I meditated at a Buddhist shrine that was built in 100 BC. I was baptized at the very site where Jesus was baptized, immersing myself in the waters that once held such profound significance. Through these acts, I sought to connect with the wisdom of the ages, hoping that the sacred energy of these places might unlock the truth within me. Not stopping there, I ventured further east, immersing myself in the teachings of Hinduism and Buddhism. The concepts of karma, dharma, and samsara resonated with a part of me that science and Greek philosophy had not touched. The notions of dualism and non-dualism captivated my mind. I pondered the dualistic separation of body and soul, and the non-dualistic idea that all is one, interconnected and indivisible. I have also read and listened to the teachings of Ramana Maharshi, Chandra Mohan Jain, J. Krishnamurti, Alan Watts, Yogananda, Eckhart Tolle, Wayne Dyer, Joel Goldsmith, and Asim. I have had conversations with Deepak Chopra, Neil Donald Walsh, Gangaji, nephew of Ramana Maharshi, Gary Renard, and President Jimmy Carter on the nature of reality. Throughout this intellectual and spiritual odyssey, I encountered countless perspectives, each offering a different piece of the puzzle. I began to see the beauty in the diversity of thought and belief. each tradition, each philosophy, each spiritual text provided a unique lens through which to view the mysteries of life. One day, as I sat by the river, lost in contemplation, it struck me. Perhaps the confusion I had felt wasn't a barrier, but a bridge that connected disparate thoughts and beliefs, showing that the quest for understanding wasn't about finding a single definitive answer, but about embracing the journey itself. Religion, science, philosophy, mythology, they were all part of a grand tapestry, each thread essential in weaving the intricate patterns of human experience. With this newfound perspective, I reopened my grandmother's Bible. This time I wasn't seeking answers, but appreciating the stories and teachings as part of the larger narrative of humanity's quest for meaning. And in that moment, the confusion that had once plagued me felt like an old friend, guiding me gently along the path of endless discovery. I had come to understand that the Bible was written over centuries by different authors in various cultural and historical contexts. This context was crucial for interpretation, but many readers, including myself, lacked this background knowledge, leading to misinterpretation and the formation of different denominations. Each denomination believed their leader had interpreted the text correctly, while others were wrong. The myriad translations of the Bible, each with slight variations, further compounded the confusion about the original meanings. The Bible's different genres, poetry, prophecy, narrative, law, and epistles, each required a different approach to interpretation, challenging readers. Its rich symbolic and metaphorical language, particularly in prophetic books, added another layer of complexity. The theological concepts it addressed, such as the nature of God, the Trinity, forgiveness, salvation, and eschatology, were hard to grasp. Recognizing intertextual references within the Bible also posed a challenge. The linguistic nuances of the original Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek texts could be lost or difficult to translate accurately. One must understand the concepts of dualism, non-dualism, and pure non-dualism to relate to the dualism in the Old Testament, where good and evil, God and humanity, were distinct, contrasted with the non-dualism in the New Testament, which presented a unified reality where God and humanity were one. I believe Jesus shared teachings about dualism and non-dualism with the masses, presenting concepts that contrasted the separation of good and evil, body and soul, God and humanity. These teachings, while profound, were accessible and aimed at guiding the common people in their spiritual and moral lives. However, to his disciples, Jesus imparted deeper, more esoteric wisdom. Some call it the secret teachings of Jesus. He delved into the realm of non-dualism, revealing the secret of self-realization. This advanced teaching emphasized the unity of all existence, where distinctions between the divine and the human, the spiritual and the material, dissolved into oneness. This truth was hidden from the masses. reserved for those who were prepared to understand and embody the profound interconnectedness of all things. Without understanding the concepts of dualism, non-dualism, and pure non-dualism, comprehending the Bible is impossible. These philosophical frameworks are essential for grasping the deeper meanings embedded within the sacred texts. My journey had led me to embrace a broader understanding, appreciating the Bible as part of a larger narrative. The confusion I once felt had become a guide, leading me toward a deeper, more inclusive exploration of meaning and existence. I personally feel that the Bible was written with the intention of confusing its readers. The more I delved into its pages, the deeper my confusion grew. This confusion ignited a burning desire within me to seek clarity and understanding. It felt like a do-or-die situation. In the words of the ancient Greek philosopher, an unexamined life is not worth living and has no value is another way of expressing it. I was determined to uncover the truth for myself, as irrefutable as the principle that 2 + 2 = 4. Ultimately, I came to see the Bible as a vast, intricate, 5,000-piece puzzle that everyone must strive to piece together in their lifetime. With a clear understanding of the concepts of dualism, non-dualism, and pure non-dualism, one can easily grasp the stories, prophecies, and parables in the Bible. To say one comprehends these concepts well is to claim an understanding of the Bible akin to understanding a mathematical principle or an eternal law. In such a state, no doubt or question will arise. One cannot grasp spiritual or metaphysical laws without first understanding material laws and their limitations. Similarly, one cannot truly know light without comprehending the nature of darkness, nor can one understand eternity without fully understanding the nature of time. Reading, understanding, and applying the spiritual laws found in the Bible is akin to undergoing a healing process. In more sophisticated terms, it can be likened to psychotherapy. This process involves not just intellectual comprehension, but also a profound transformation of one's being, allowing for a deeper connection with the divine truths presented in the Scriptures. Many have inquired about the ultimate truth. To understand the ultimate truth, one must undergo a transformative journey. This journey involves progressing through various levels of understanding: dualism, semi-non-dualism, non-dualism, and ultimately pure non-dualism. In the realm of dualism, the mind perceives a distinct separation between self and other, leading one to feel like a figure or character in a dream. The story of my journey, as I have shared, is a true account within the context of dualism, where each individual appears as a separate entity with their own stories. However, when we shift our perspective to semi-non-dualism, this story starts to lose its distinctiveness. My personal story becomes just one among the 8 billion people and their stories in the world, blending into the multitude of tales that exist from the beginning of dream life, perhaps 14 billion years ago. As we move further into the understanding of non-dualism, we begin to see through the illusion of individual stories. Illusion means nothing. At this level, I dismiss my story along with all other stories, recognizing the inherent unity of all beings. In this view, every individual is perceived as an integral part of a unified whole, equal and indistinguishable from one another. When one truly grasps the idea that all people are interconnected and equal, the inclination to elevate any single person above the rest and revere them as superior will vanish. This understanding fosters a sense of unity and equality, eliminating the need for idolization or hierarchical worship. In my other podcasts, such as Insights into the Nature of Time, the conversation on the nature of reality between Einstein and Tagore, and What is Metaphysics? The Present is the Eternal Now. I have delved deeper into these concepts. The essence of these discussions is that eternity is now. This moment encompasses all that exists, past, present, and future, blurring the boundaries of linear time. The eternal now contains within it the entirety of existence, and in this moment, we find the true essence of reality, free from the constraints of past or future. When you grasp the concepts of dualism and non-dualism, you can truly understand the teachings of a non-dualist figure like Jesus of Nazareth. From a pure non-dualistic perspective, the ultimate truth is that God is, and nothing else exists. In this pure non-dualistic view, there is neither creation nor destruction, neither beginning nor end, neither destiny nor free will, neither sin nor salvation. The final truth is simply that God is, and that is all there is. This profound realization renders the question of my religion unanswerable, as it transcends the conventional boundaries and definitions of any single faith. If you would like to have a dialogue with me via phone or Zoom, or if you wish to visit me in person, the best way to get in touch is via email. My name is Joe Bandra. Thank you for listening.